So I wanted to talk today about the opportunities in terms of green roofs and walls. So the City of Sydney has more than 10 million square metres of roof space that's not currently being well utilised. And I choose these photos wisely. The one on the right is a standard roof, which has got not much on it. The roof on the right, sorry, did I say right? Left and then right. The one on the right is actually right next to that other roof, but is completely greened. It's a heritage building, it's M-Central. So we need to rethink the way we're using urban spaces, particularly we've talked a lot this morning about increasing population. There are lots and lots of benefits for using green roofs and walls, and it's not just about finding other places to grow food, but greenery actually slows and cleans stormwater, it cleans urban air, it provides insulation for the building underneath, creates additional open space, creates habitat for biodiversity, sequesters carbon, lowers the temperature in the urban area, so lowers the urban heat island effect, improves livability, and also is really vital for food production. Now, I'll move on. This is not a new thing. So these are all pictures in the City of Sydney local government area. Wildfell Gardens, installed in 1936. So that's tiers of green roofs. Reader's Digest, that's 4 stories up, that's mature paper barks, 1967. Lawrence Hargrave Reserve, 1974, that's over a car park right in the middle of King's Cross. Darling Park, right in the CBD, Sussex Street, so that's 3,000 square metres of parkland on an urban roof, and you can see the towers to one side as well. And the latest one, which is Prince Alfred Park Pool, which is 2,000 square metre green roof, which actually just folds over the buildings. So it's not new, but actually one of the things about green roofs in Sydney is there's only 3 or 4 that are primarily used for food production at this point. So there's opportunity there. So in Sydney, these are very conservative figures, but we have around 27 green walls and 53 green roofs, making up about 94,000 square metres. And 94,000 square metres sounds fantastic, but it's about 0.7% of available roof space. There's a lot of space out there we're not using. We're getting about 1 DA a week for a new green roof. So there's huge interest to really use that space. So there's also a huge opportunity. So we need to relook at that space in terms of food production, not just on greening that space. This is a beautiful shot in Canada, and you think they can grow food when it's under snow half the year. I think we can probably come up with some better gardens on our roofs. But one of the things is that space is a unique environment. The soil is not in contact with the ground. We need more information. It's windier and sunnier up there. So we're starting research projects. This is a particular one with UTS, looking at rooftop urban agriculture. So we've got different plots with different types of soils, growing exactly the same food, some in full sun, some in part shade, and we're already, after a month, getting some really interesting data around, so different plots are actually using different amounts of water. We're also learning some interesting lessons. We planted out the plots, and within 24 hours a flock of cockatoos went past and ripped the whole lot out. So it's also, that's part of research, is going, yeah, well, if we're going to put it 7 stories in the air and put a sign on it saying, here, pick me, then cockatoos will, it's easier than going into someone's backyard to go 7 stories up. And these are the things we're going to have to deal with if we're going to use that space. So we're also looking at access. So how do you get the soil up there? How do people get access to it? What foods grow in that kind of low soil condition? Some soils with high mineral content last longer, but then you have to put the food in the water. So if you put more organic soils, they tend to shrink. So there's a lot of stuff that we're learning through this process. A lot of space up there we could be using. And green walls, so if we've got more than 10 million square metres of rooftops, we've also got a lot of walls, of which I have no idea about the square meterage, but there's a lot of opportunity in urban areas to go up rather than traditional gardens, and people can access and grow small amounts of their own food in very space-constrained urban environments, and they're just a couple of options. And of course, that's a Patrick Blanc wall art piece. So I guess one of the things I wanted to present was give you an idea of looking at the city in a different way as a potential place for growing food. The City of Sydney, you know, we're in the unique position of having a Green Roofs and Walls officer, but I'm keen to share information if you're interested in Green Roofs and Walls. If you want to know more, if you want to get access to the data, feel free to contact me. Thanks very much.